my fellow Americans, this is former President Barack Hussein Obama, and you're listening to the Mad Titan Podcast. Please be sure to support this young brother from Chicago, Jay Washington, because he's a funny bastard. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.
What's happening, everybody? I'm back. It is episode 33 of the Mad Titan Podcast with me, your resident supervillain, Mr. Jay Washington. Yeah, I know. It's been a minute. It's the summer. I told y'all I was trying to get everything out to y'all. I was going to make sure I give you even shorter episodes and as long as I had things out. But if you ain't been keeping up with me, I've been wrestling. I've been back in the wrestling ring, so it's kind of busy. It was kind of hectic. So the show was nice. Shouts out to UEW for having me out. Had a match with Tony Reyes. It was a match. It felt good being back in the ring. Little ring rust was from the not having been in a show in a while. So being in the ring is one thing. I've been training for over a month, but being in the show was a whole different ball game. And I mean, that just comes with being back, in the ring. So I'm fine with that. But that and popping up everywhere, Collider and all these spots and acting and hosting and stand up and getting ready for the hour. Everything's been crazy. So you guys are getting this late, and I apologize for that, but nonetheless, you are getting it in actually in the studio. I mean, well, here with me. I'll just say that. Not even say in the studio. Here with me. He broke into my home. Okay, he was not supposed to be here, but he broke into my home, and he forced his way onto my show. The Jersey Jackass is here live, and I don't believe it.
Yo, what's poppin', baby? Look, I had to shimmy up a drain pipe, pop up in that window. It was quite difficult. You were sleeping. You weren't very happy. It's okay. It's cool. We good. We all up in here. We having some fun. We gonna go do our audio commentary of Venom right after this. Super excited for that. It's been a lot of fun. Man, don't let this guy fool you, though. He want to tell you that...
You know what? I just thought about it. We might actually do that.
Oh, yeah?
I know you talking about how you got to get back to your sister's crib, but Venom is about 2 hours, and I think, you know what? I'm like, it's something new.
Maybe, but yo, look, like I was going to tell you, don't let this man fool you, all right? A little bit of ring rust, yeah. Match of the night still, all right? Real talk. Homie was killing it out there. Jay was, damn, I can't wait. We gonna take the wrestling world by storm. Urban jackasses.
Well, when it comes to taking the wrestling world by storm, it's going to be having the wrestling world going to have to start paying. Because, shit, I remember, I mean, there's a love for the business I'll always have. And it's always fun being, in the locker room. And a lot of the fellas I've known and some guys I just got to know. And just having that camaraderie and shit. But it was cool. But when you remember, oh, yeah, I ain't making no money off this for real. Like, whatever little money you make, you blowing it on something to eat. Mm-hmm. Afterwards, because everything's so damn expensive. But nonetheless,
hot dog and a handshake.
Man, listen, and we had those hot dogs, and my body was like, "You're not supposed to eat this at all." My body literally has been, since I've been losing all this weight and everything that's happened. My body's been like, "Oh, you gonna try to be healthy? Okay, we're gonna make sure you stay on that." And so I'd watch them. Now, look, in LA, there's always street meat. Okay, we know about the street meat, the bacon wrap hot dogs on the street, but you don't know what those hot dogs are made out of. Okay. I saw them make the hot dogs and the bacon wrap together. They were all these Walmart hot dogs with Walmart bacon. I watched them cook them on the smoker, and my body was like, "You sure you won't do this?" And I was like, "I'm a little bit hungry." My body was like, "We could wait," and I was like, "No." And I ate, and my body was like, "Well, fuck you, fam." And then it just rejected on me. So here's where we're at. But for those who are new to the show, man, thank you first and foremost for joining in. What I do here is to get you caught up on everything that's happening in Marvel and DC live action and cinematic universes. That means it's pretty much if it's Cape Cal and Mask, I'm talking about it. It is barbershop talk for nerds, and I know a lot of people are like, "Well, are you gonna talk about Watchmen?" Nigga, I don't have an HBO subscription, so we will see.
Is it out already?
It'll be out soon. I mean, people's been asking me what's going to talk. Actually, I do. I got somebody's HBO Now login, so I'll probably cover Watchmen.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you don't have it, I'll send it to you.
Yeah, I'll probably cover Watchmen as well. So let's get right into it, man. This past weekend, y'all already know what it's been. Independence Weekend. SpiderMan Far From Home has come out, and as of now, this is a Sunday is recording this. It has officially made $185 million domestically at the box office, which far exceeded everyone's expectations of this movie. I think Sony might have known it was going to do this high, but just wanted to throw out a low number just to play it safe, quote unquote.
Yeah.
So if it doesn't hit that high number they originally thought, they were like, well, it made what we thought it was going to make, and it's the holiday weekend. But if it goes higher, they're like, yo, we made this amount of money.
Now, is that Tuesday to Sunday? Or
Yes, that's the whole thing.
That's the whole thing.
That's the whole
Okay,
thing.
all right.
So 180, and again, it's a great way to count it because you have people going on the road to travel. You have the holiday itself where people are out watching fireworks. You have the day after the holiday where a lot of people are recovering. So, you know, all in all, for that, 185 for it is a good thing. Now, it's been out a week. Y'all already know I got the review up on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/JAYWashington80. And it is a spoiler-filled review. So you know what that means. I'm talking about the shit freely here. So if you have not seen it yet, that is your fault. You've had a holiday weekend. I don't care about your family. Go see a movie. That sounded really fucking cruel, but it's just really true.
But it's real. But look, man, if you coming out, you trying to be in this, you trying to hear all this stuff about these movies and stuff, you probably seen it already.
Yeah, and a lot of people have hit me and was like, yo, even if I haven't seen it, I want to know your opinion on it, Jay, so I know if I'm going to see it or not, and I don't care about spoilers. And those are people I rock with heavy. I rock with all of y'all, quite honestly. But if you be like, yo, I don't give a fuck about spoilers, you are my friends.
I mean, and goes along with that, too. And just in case you're the one person that did not, you can't talk about Spider-Man without also talking Endgame spoilers.
Well, yeah, because it literally, first of all, as far as Endgame spoilers go, there are no such thing as spoilers anymore. That movie's been out since April. If you have not seen Avengers Endgame, that is your fault totally.
They even re-released it with
They
an extra
even
scene.
re-released it. So
I think that helped to the box office.
Oh, absolutely. But that's, you know, we talked about that on Movie Talk, and I've talked about it just in general. Marvel is smart when it comes to that because you use one film to pump up another. Captain Marvel may not have made a bunch of money as everybody was like, oh, it's not going to make this money. It's in the $1 billion club. It made a lot of money because it was the movie before Endgame. And then, was it Endgame or Infinity War?
Endgame.
Endgame, yeah. It was Captain Marvel was this year.
Yeah. And it dropped out of the top 5. And then the week of Endgame jumped back into
because
it.
Then it had to add, right, people went back to see it who didn't see it. You know what, it's so crazy, this year's almost over with. We're in July, and you forget that Captain Marvel came out in March of this year.
Yeah.
So that's why my brain slipped on that. But of course, when you got SpiderMan Far From Home, it's the movie after Endgame. So people will see Endgame, and then like, yo, I got to see SpiderMan Far From Home. Or some people hadn't seen Endgame and saw Far From Home and was like, wait, Tony Stark dead? And then they had to see what happened.
Yeah.
So the movies push each other up. And you'll go back to last year with Infinity War, Black Panther, and Ant-Man and the Wasp. Now, granted, Ant-Man and the Wasp didn't make a lot of money because it was Ant-Man and the Wasp already. A lot of people weren't high on the Ant-Man property anyways as an individual. When you put him in Civil War and stuff like that, that's a different ballgame. But the movie itself, I get it. Ant-Man is an acquired taste as a whole. That is why you have a character like Paul Rudd at the helm, and then you add in Evangeline Lilly to hopefully bring in more people, more eyes. But either way it goes, this movie, Far From Home, is a success for Sony. For Sony. And the way this movie ended, I'm loving the whole what the fucks, basically. So if you didn't see the post-credit scenes, basically Mysterio tells the world who Spider-Man is.
Not only tells the world who Spider-Man is, but makes it seem as Spider-Man's the villain in the whole situation.
But it helps, though, because it helps further push the J. Jonah Jameson narrative that we've always seen of him always saying, Spider-Man's a villain, he's a crook. Which, by the way, with J. Jonah Jameson. For those who regularly listen to this podcast, you will know that back in April or so, when I had Winston A. Marshall, I believe it was, on the show, I told you, I was like, I got a Spider-Man Far From Home trailer, spoiler. Not trailer, excuse me. I got a Spider-Man Far From Home spoiler, and I'm going to tell it to y'all, whether you want to hear it or not. And I said, well, I know who's playing J. Jonah Jameson. Well, it's J.K. Simmons reprising his role. People did not believe me until motherfuckers saw Spider-Man Far From Home and was like, wait, what? Now, I say that to say, when I tell y'all shit on this show, you need to take it all the way serious. I know things. I know people. I get that info, baby.
Hey, you know what? I had no idea it was coming. I was like, nah, there's no way JK coming back. If he would have come, they would have brought him back in Amazing, maybe. But at this point now, there's no way. That's not possible. I'm a doubter. Come to find out, My boy Jay had it on lock. He had the news.
Well, it's also funny, too, because you couldn't see anybody else playing J.K. Simmons.
There's one.
Who?
Ice Cube. I would have loved, if you were going to recast it, to let Cube step in and be the J. Jonah Jameson. That would have been pretty dope.
Hey, this motherfucker Spider-Man.
Just think about his character from 22 Jump Street. Just
yeah.
not a cop.
I can see that. But it for me, it was like, it just felt good. And, a lot of people thought you weren't going to get him because it's like, that's the Sam Raimi iteration.
And now he's Commissioner Gordon,
well, that
quote
don't
unquote.
happen anymore.
Yeah, no.
Especially with the Batman, because we're going earlier and younger. So he's not doing that. So it's best to have that. I told everybody that. And everybody's like, you just full of shit. And I was like, no, he's going to be fucking J. Jonah Jameson. And I told y'all. And I even had Simon Kinberg text in when I had Van Lathan on. And granted, I need to talk to Simon about some things because a lot of shit didn't pan out the way we thought it was going to pan out. But I'll talk about that movie a little bit later. But there's also some other news I didn't get a chance to tell y'all about that I found out a while ago. I think maybe a week and a half ago. I didn't get a chance to bring it here and I wanted to. The Eternals is still casting and they're making big announcements. So we already know Angelina Jolie is a part of it. We know Kumail Nanjiani's a part of it. We know Richard Madden's a part of it. We know Madong Siak's a part of it. And now Selma Hayek is part of the Eternals.
And Keanu is... They're talking.
Well, Keanu Reeves is talking to Kevin Feige. Okay. So we don't know what he could be fitting in for. He could be Reed Richards. He could be the Silver Surfer. He could be... Keanu Reeves, he could be Namor. Keanu Reeves can go in a whole different... You know what I'm saying? You can put him in a whole bunch of different things, so you don't have to necessarily say one thing.
I thought I had heard he was talking for Eternals or whatnot, but then I heard they go to him for almost everything. They want him in something so bad.
They want him in the MCU regardless.
But the addition of Selma Hayek, damn, I'm in. Yo, like,
well, I
love me some Selma, baby.
Yo, I love Selma Hayek from Dogma, Wild Wild West. Yes, I just said Wild Wild West.
I'm in. Wiki.
Wiki, wow. Wiki, wow. But yeah, and so the thing with that is, this cast, we don't even know the full cast lineup.
Yeah.
These are just some of the people. And it goes into production next year, like I think early 2020. And I think the reason that, I know the reason they're announcing these big names because of what the Eternals are. Very few people know the story of the Eternals.
I can tell you right now, I don't even know the story of the Eternals.
Well, the Eternals, it's an ancient race of beings that were immortals and celestials. They became the Celestials, the Eternals. There was this battle. Basically, it's the precursor to Thanos.
And isn't Collector and Grandmaster kind of part of that?
They're part of their family lineage comes in that.
Okay.
As well as Ego the Living Planet. Because he's a Celestial.
Okay.
Also, you have Galactus comes along in that too. Comes around there. So you're gonna see all these things. It's basically all this stuff that lead up because, and a lot of people are asking, why are we getting this? Let me say that. It's because Phase 4 of the MCU is all galactic and cosmic. So you need to know the preface for everything, why we're doing the things we're doing. Also, I strongly believe in my heart of hearts, we're starting to set up the Secret Wars.
Yeah. Especially with that second post-credit.
By the way, the second post-credit scene of SpiderMan Far From Home. Now, you found out during the mid-credit scene that Nick Fury wasn't Nick Fury, nor was Agent Hill. They were both Skrulls. More specifically, Ben Mendelsohn's Talos, and I think it was his wife. You found out those were the Skrulls that basically was them the whole
Which
movie.
Literally goes back to Endgame when people kept going, Ben Mendelsohn's in the school. He's there. I'm like, maybe he actually is.
Yeah, so we found out that. So you have that, and then you see them together. Now you see Nick, and you see Ben Mendelsohn's character calling Nick Fury like, you need to come back.
I don't know how to do this.
I don't know how to do this. And you see Nick Fury on what looks like a beach. Turns out it's a holodeck.
Dude, I remember I was watching that scene. I was like, why is this so green screen? This is terrible. Oh, okay, never mind. I said
it was meant to be green screen. And so a lot of people, then you see Nick walk out, and it's this big thing with a bunch of Skrulls working. A lot of people are like, what is that? That is Sword. He is setting up Sword. For those who don't know, Sword is the sister thing of Shield, if you want to call it, right?
The kind of where Shield likes to take care of of Earth, Sword kind of covers everywhere else.
Yeah, Sword is anything, right? Shield is what's on Earth. Now, because we know of different universes, because Sword stands for Sentient World Observation and Response Department.
Means someone really wanted their initials to spell out Sword.
Hey man, you gotta think, like, somebody was like, all right, we're gonna call it. But think about it, you have a sword and a shield
yeah.
to protect. So that is what's happening with that. So you're getting that. But back to the Eternals, you're gonna have all this galactic shit happen. You have the Skrulls and the Secret Wars, and now you can potentially have the Super Skrulls, which everybody was like, well, how do you get Super Skrulls? Endgame told you everything in one line. When Thanos snapped, it released a cosmic amount. Earth was ground zero for an immense proportion of cosmic energy. We only saw what happened on Earth. We heard of what happened other places.
But now it's also happened 3 times on Earth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Plus one more on another planet. So there's some stuff that's going to be messed up in the universe. Not to mention how bad it's going to be mutated on Earth.
And did you say mutated? Also, speaking of SpiderMan Far From Home, and I think I said it in the review, because when you bring that up, I like how they address the 5 years. Mm-hmm. They call it the blip.
Yeah.
And of course, people who were around still age. But the fact everybody was like, how does it work with the students? The school was just like, oh, y'all started to fuck over, which is hilarious.
Yep.
But also, it means that all of Peter's classmates that were with him were snapped.
Yes.
So everybody's like, well, wait, which one select ones? Everybody that was in Peter's class was snapped because they're all the same age now.
Yeah.
And to them, it was all instantaneous.
At least all of our major
characters, of course. Flash, MJ, Ned, all the major teachers, right. So you got that.
Did you miss Hannibal Buress in this one?
Yes and no. I mean, my thing
I like JB Smoove, but I really missed Hannibal Buress.
I guess my thing was with JB Smoove was like he was kind of a throwaway.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, granted, whenever he had a line, it hit. But I would have rather... I have nothing against JB Smoove. I would have rather seen Hannibal Buress.
Yeah. Because it just felt like, why is this random new person here?
Yeah, like we hadn't even seen this teacher.
Yeah.
Now, unless Hannibal Buress had a prior commitment and he couldn't do the film, I get that. But I kind of would have...
Yeah.
I would have rather just seen...
I love Hannibal Buress.
But, yeah, so back to the Secret Wars. The cosmic radiation, from the snap will be what creates Super Skrulls. Mm-hmm. Those are the Skrulls. Remember, we see Skrulls, they're able to change shape. Super Skrulls, not only do they change shape, they get the abilities as well. So that's how we'll deal with that and that energy. And
it also has to go with the one line there it's kind of toward the end where they're talking. They're like, oh, I didn't know there were still Kree sleeper cells.
Right. When he brings that up.
Yeah. Which really, and I know you're not a big fan of it, but it adds so much to a rewatch of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
What do you mean I'm not a big fan of it?
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. You like S.H.I.E.L.D.? I thought you didn't like S.H.I.E.L.D.
No, I do.
I thought I was the only person on the planet that liked S.H.I.E.L.D.
No. The last season was so dope. I mean, that's why I'm a big fan of Robbie Reyes as Ghost Rider.
I loved him. I love the idea of how Captain Marvel and now this added into S.H.I.E.L.D. because you have that Kree lineage that they use in there. And so they've had other Kree on the show. So it really adds to just that one little line, one of those tiny little things is what really makes Marvel so much ahead of everyone else trying to do anything.
Well, I mean, it's you think so far in advance.
Yeah.
And I know some people are like, well, damn, I'm getting tired of this. No, you're not. You might personally, but as a whole, people aren't.
And it just, again, Spider-Man, Tony Stark was able to build this in a cave. The fact that they linked all that together.
That's how you close a story. You go back to the beginning.
I was like, y'all are so good.
And so you close that story and you open the door to the next. But also what this show was, in Spider-Man Far From Home, all this ties in together, quite honestly. It showed that all the problems that we dealt with are Tony Stark's fault. Because remember, Vision even says it. Ever since Mr. Stark's announcement of him being Iron Man, there's been such this increase of
extinction level events.
Yeah. So Tony Stark is at fault for all this shit. But speaking of Marvel, we talked about what they were doing and what they're going into, and we will find out definitely next week, pretty much. San Diego Comic-Con is on the horizon. It begins Wednesday, July 17th, goes through Sunday, July 21st. Marvel, at first, nobody thought they were going to show up. Now they are going to be back, and their panel has been confirmed for Saturday night in Hall H. They will host their presentation during the coveted 5:15 to 6:45 panel. That is a spot that if you got, that is prime time.
Hour and a half. They gonna shut it down.
Yeah, now Kevin Feige is gonna be on stage, and they say he is bringing more than a few undisclosed friends. This is what Marvel said, quote, Marvel Studios president and producer Kevin Feige and surprise panelists provide an inside look at the ever-expanding Marvel Cinematic Universe, end quote. Now, of course, what we can expect, you're going to get something from Black Widow.
Obviously.
We're going to get about the aforementioned Eternals, like we just talked about. You're going to get the slate dates for Black Panther 2, Doctor Strange 2. We're going to find out who Shang-Chi is.
You think we're going to find out who he is?
We're going to find out who exactly becomes Shang-Chi. The Sleeper Cell comment lets us know, the Kree Sleeper Cell comment lets us know we're going to get the slate date for Captain Marvel 2 and Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Now, there could be more. We might get an update on New Mutants, but at the same time, aside...
New Mutants?
Yeah.
Okay, that's possible.
That's possible. I think we're getting a Fantastic Four announcement.
That's what I was
more than anything else.
Not only do I think we're getting a Fantastic Four announcement, cast. I think we already have a cast.
I think we have a cast too. I think we have a cast of Fantastic
Four. Because they are trying so hard to tell us they don't have it.
Well, supposedly it was mentioned that Baxter was actually referenced in SpiderMan Far From Home. So I have to find that. I'll let you talk about that while I find it.
I liked the idea that I think it was you that brought it up to me. It might not have been, but I think it was you telling me that perhaps it was the Reed Richards buying Avengers Tower and turning it into the Baxter Building. I don't remember that, but I thought that is a dope idea to really set that up and bring them in that way. That's why we can have the Baxter Building, and it makes sense of why that they have kind of left New York, or they went upstate, so to say. So,
hey, I'm here for it. What is that? That's the
BFP.
Yeah, that's Ben Parker's bag.
Yeah, Ben Parker's bag.
Peter's in-flight movies, which told us about Wakanda. The Heart of Iron story is an interesting one, too, because it says the Tony Stark story, but Heart of Iron. Iron Heart.
Yeah.
Could be Riri Williams. Hydro Man, of course. The comic creator shout-out. I know about that. Uneasy Lies Ahead. Yeah, that was that. Star Wars MC movies, I remember that. Earth's Dimension 616. 833. The Elementals, we know about that. Captain Marvel is official. That's why he said don't speak her name.
Yeah.
Don't speak her name because that was a scroll. Okay.
It's fun to go back and pick up on that stuff. It cracks me. It was you that said that you thought Nick Fury was Chameleon.
I thought he was Chameleon at first.
That's hilarious. That's because you were close. That's pretty close, man.
I mean, shit. You're right. I mean, because my thing is the way he was acting. He was like, "The bitch, please, you've been to space."
Yeah.
It's Samuel L. Jackson, not Nick Fury.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's a big difference between the two. Like there's some where the fuck is it? Marvel Zombies, the Civil War Iron Spider suit, the Kree are in hiding, Mysterio takes his own life, Spider-Man game, selfie nod.
Oh, I loved the selfie nod. There was a lot that kind of threw the Spider-Man game.
Where is it? About that, I'm trying to find. So if you wonder what I'm doing, I'm looking for the thing. There is something about the Baxter building. It's either the Baxter building or I hate to have to do this. I think I might as well do it. Let's keep it all the way real. This is barbershop talk, so you look through the shit while you're in the shop.
I don't remember much from that. But again, I only saw it. I got to go to the press screening at. What was it? It's an Alamo Draft House. I'm not really a fan of Alamo Draft House because there's always people walking around and taking orders and all that stuff, and I hate those.
Oh, they're saying that what could possibly happen is that the Avengers Tower can be renamed the Baxter Building.
Okay.
Yeah. So there it is.
That's
what
idea.
It was. No, that's what it was. It was perfect because it was at the construct. That's exactly it is the Avengers Tower because I remember this and I was trying to figure it out. Garden construction, the Avengers Tower, it was a fence that was labeled with, "We can't wait to show you what comes next." And the sentence had 1, 2, 3, and then a question mark. What comes after the question mark?
4.
4. So basically, the Baxter building is going to be bought there, and that's how you bring in the Fantastic Four.
See, just I like that idea.
That was the one I saw.
It's either that or it's what's his name, Osborn.
I don't think Oscorp. I think you do more. I think Oscorp. It's so easy to go to Oscorp and Oscorp Tower and Norman Osborn in the Spider-Man series, and it's done.
Yeah,
it's done. It's tired. You know, it never seems to go right.
See, but the problem is it's tired until Disney Marvel decides it's not. Let's fix it.
Yeah, but the problem is if they fix it and just shoehorn it in, nobody wants it. Nobody wants it. So let's go back to what the panel is. Like I said, you got all those things that may happen. I definitely agree. I definitely believe we do have a Fantastic Four. The announcement of that is for sure coming. I brought up Simon Kinberg earlier, and when I said New Mutants, it made me think about that again. Dark Phoenix. We all know Dark Phoenix was a bad thing.
So miserable.
Please go see my review. It's online on my YouTube channel. My review for Dark Phoenix is, it's just the honest truth.
I remember, it made me laugh so because I remember my screening. You know, since I live in Texas, I'm 2 hours ahead of you, so I get out of the screening, and I go, you about to go in? He texts me back, yep. I go, good luck.
Yeah, it just says good luck. That's all it said. And I think I was with Dorian. I was with Dorian Parks, Markia McCarty, and Yale Teagle, and I was like, my homeboy just texted me and said good luck. He's like, what are you talking about? I was like, he just got out of seeing Dark Phoenix. He's like, wait, what? She's like, what? I was like, yeah, he's in Texas. I was like, he just got out seeing it and just told me good luck. Do you understand how terrifying that is to know that he just said good luck? Like,
yep.
And when I saw it, it was bad. So here's the thing. We just brought up Fantastic Four. They said that Dark Phoenix has bombed harder than 2015's Fantastic Four. So it is a bigger bomb than Fan Four Stick.
So I was about to say, I don't remember a 2015 Fantastic Four. Did you mean Fan Four Stick?
Fan Four Stick. So listen to this. So this is an article this is just new. According to Forbes, Dark Phoenix will earn $430,000 at this weekend's box office for a domestic total of $64.628 million. This is actually less than what X-Men Apocalypse earned in its first weekend, and means the movie will finish with a worldwide take of just a bit over $250 million against a budget of $200 million.
Jesus, man. That's just...
Now, people are asking how about money. People say, well, it made $50 million more. Isn't it profitable? In order for a film to be considered profitable, it has to make 1.25 times its budget. Fantastic Four earned $167.9 million against a budget of $120 million. So it earned 1.39 times. Dark Phoenix would have had to make $278 million to have been better. That shit was not going to happen. There are some people who was constantly trying to say, oh, Dark Phoenix wasn't that bad. People were just hating. Dark Phoenix should have never been fucking made.
I have one positive about that movie.
It's done? It's
I
over?
have two positives about that movie.
We
It's
don't have to
over.
see Jennifer Lawrence anymore?
Don't have to, three positives. I liked Sophie Turner in it. I liked her.
Get out my house. Get out my house.
That's the first time that I've watched her and not hated her.
Get out my house. She was a horrible Jean Grey.
She was really hot.
That's all you thought. She was really hot. Get out my house. Because that's all that is everybody was like, yo, she was hot. Which she was. Sophie Turner was fucking beautiful in this movie.
And there wasn't even they tried to give us a Magneto scene, but none of them popped. Even Michael Fassbender just couldn't bring it out of himself to do this shit again.
I'm fucking here, Charles. For some reason, Charles. So yeah, so that's pretty much that. I started watching Legion. This shit is so fucking trippy because now they have a time traveler, and the way she travels through time is when she opens a door, she walks through a hallway that has increments of time to where she wants to go. It's so crazy, and she's learning how to time travel with like a headphone self-help tape to teach her. It's so fucking weird.
Jeez.
It's.
I really want to get onto Legion.
I want to get on mushrooms, I think.
It's,
I think if I get on mushrooms.
It's one of those ones you have to focus on. And so I haven't had the time to just sit down and watch this damn thing.
Yeah, it's one of those ones where when you watch it, you're like, okay.
I think I've seen the pilot like 4 times.
Okay, this is happening. You're like, this is what it is. But you have to make sure when you watch Legion, no matter where you are in the show, you have no distractions, you have no interruptions. The only interruption you have is when it's a bathroom break, and you barely got to be taking those because you don't want to miss something when it comes back.
Yeah.
So that's all the Marvel news I have. Let's go over to the DC side of things. All right, this has been a big story. I didn't get a chance to talk about it here with y'all. This is one of those just let it go, let it go. The Flash now has another fucking director. Okay, Andy Muschietti, who was the director of It Chapter 2, and the first It, is going to be the director of The Flash. And Christina Hobson, who's writing Birds of Prey, as well as Batgirl, is going to rewrite the script. Here's the problem with all that. John Francis Daley and Jonathan Goldstein were tapped to both write and direct. I talked to John Francis Daley in Chicago at C2E2. He said the script was coming along about fine. Then you heard Ezra Miller tried to write his own script with Grant Morrison because why? He wanted a darker take. And then they were like, fuck what you talking about. Here is the issue again. Ezra Miller is still attached to be the Flash as of right now, which I thought was kind of dumb. And I spoke with Roxy Stryer and when we were on Collider Live, and she made a good point. If you're changing directors, if you're changing writers, at this point, change your fucking Flash.
I don't know if we need to change him. I didn't mind. It's definitely a much different take on Barry Allen.
Well, here's the problem I have with that. Now,
And
everybody brings up the Grant Gustin. You know, they always bring up Grant Gustin with that, which is fine. He's a great Flash on TV. Ezra Miller wanted the Flash to be darker. The problem is you've already started this Flash as a goofy, on the spectrum type dude.
But I still think that you can change the tone and him without essentially making it feel too much different from the Flash that they've given us.
I mean, I can respectfully disagree, but I get you where you're coming from.
I think it's possible. Is it possible for DC to do it? I don't know.
See, I don't want to put that on. This is one time, and a lot of people say you just hate on the DCEU, Jay, and that's not true because I fucking love Wonder Woman and I like Shazam. Can't be hating. I just wanted to stab everybody that was involved with putting Pitbull on Aquaman soundtrack. That's just something we're gonna have to live with.
Such a good song.
The fuck out my house.
It's my ringtone for when you call.
You never calling your phone again. Ever. I feel like that's a slap in the face and disrespectful. You might as well call me the N-word.
Damn!
That's your ringtone for me. Like your phone just says like the Scooby-Doo ringer. Like it just...
Bro!
Like, ringer. Ringer.
My dude!
I'm sorry. I'm sleepy as fuck and so shit just gonna come out. But I'm not putting this against Warner Brothers. I just think as far as like you're changing themes all around, you've already established you're going in a different direction. The only two people you have proven that are stable in your original incantation of the DCEU are Gal Gadot and Jason Momoa. That is fine. Henry Cavill's gone. We know this. Mm-hmm. Ben Affleck is gone. We know this. Ray Fisher, he never had a chance. Fucked up as it is, but we know this.
I really liked his Cyborg too.
What was that like? This motherfucker in a hoodie? Like you didn't really get the...
But I liked him. Like he just seemed... I don't know what it was.
1 minute Aquaman looks at him like he's crazy. Next minute is my man. Like what the fuck is happening? Okay? But you didn't need that. You don't need that Barry Allen. You don't need Ezra Miller. Somebody was like, you can just go to Wally West. I'm like, well, or go to Kid Flash. But I'm like, we have to establish how another. Now, granted, the particle accelerator, or if we're not even going to do that, because there's never been a particle Particle accelerator
Words.
explosion. Words. Fuck that. Okay, I'm tired. Okay, you all will say it.
I mean, honestly, you can, if you wanted to change it, all you have to do is have some kind of paradox and and flashes get traded out.
Your
Boom.
attempt at trying to wordplay Flashpoint paradox was terrible.
I mean, without doing the actual paradox, but you have something where Barry's doing. You just have Ezra Miller for a scene. He's running speed, the lightning, boom. New guy shows up. What am I doing here? What's going on?
He literally just sat here, ladies and gentlemen, threw his hands around like he was the fucking Rock, finna crisscross and do the people's elbow. He was like, yeah, I'm just speeding around, flipping off elbow pads, and just raising eyebrows. Like, the fuck is you talking about?
Finally, the new Flash has come. Just go with it, man.
I need drugs, and I don't even do drugs. Like, that's bad. Yeah, now, when I bring up the DCEU, I'm going to bring up something that is a very sore spot to me because I'm fucking tired of it, and I'm tired of hearing about it, and I think we need to let go and let God.
Is this the one that you didn't want to tell me about?
No, I told you about that. That was the one about the Dark Phoenix bombing.
Oh.
That was the one I was keeping secret.
Okay.
This one, everybody knows about, and this one, we need to talk about. Why in the fuck was released the Snyder Cut retrending on Twitter?
What was it trend again?
Again, and I say why the fuck, because it's just me saying it, but I know why. Because Zack Snyder won't shut the fuck up.
What do you say now?
Well, Zack Snyder, who clearly has stock in Vero, now constantly, in order to stay relevant, hey, here's what Darkseid would have looked like. Here's some clips of some footage of stuff I had. Could have been a whole movie. So then here we go. We'll release the Snyder Cut, Warner Brothers. Let us see the movie. Warner Brothers doesn't give a fuck about y'all. There is no cut of the movie. Y'all don't. I think people need to understand, just because there's a clip or a scene doesn't mean there's a full fucking film. They also said it was not a full film done.
Well, what they need to do is hire someone to edit it back together and release the Snyder Cut, Jay.
For what?
Because it would have been a better movie.
That's the reason?
Yes.
Do you understand that we are 2 years past this shit and Warner Brothers don't give a fuck?
I know. It's some of the dumbest. I hate trying to explain to people there's no such thing as a Snyder Cut. There is a Snyder vision.
Yes.
There's a vision of what he wanted his movie to be.
That is a whole different ballgame.
There is no cut.
First of all, for everybody who keeps saying they know what a Snyder Cut is, the majority of you all, the overwhelming majority, and it may not be my listeners, the overwhelming majority of these people are not in the film industry. A cut of a film means Zack Snyder filmed every single scene in all from beginning to end of that movie, and it was just done, and it was sitting up there ready to go to post-production, and they figure out what they need to reshoot and shit like that. That did not happen. Zack Snyder shot scenes of that movie. Then his daughter unfortunately committed suicide, and it was done. And then when he's supposed to go back, they brought in Joss Whedon, and they took what he did, and then they added, and they took more away. That is what happened. There's not a cut of the movie. Also, keep asking for a cut. Let me say this too. Stop tweeting Warner Brothers as if Warner Brothers is really paying fucking attention to you. I don't think y'all understand how dumb, I hate to say this way, how dumb it makes you look. There's 1 to 2 people looking at all of the tweets that go to Warner Brothers that say, release the Snyder, which get filtered in from millions.
And their job is to just tweet things. They have nothing to do with anything actual at the studio.
All their job is to fuck. I know people who work for the social media for TV shows and films. Their job is just to tweet shit. This ain't like Arby's or Wendy's or Burger King's or IHOPs where they have sometimes aspiring comedians and writers who are used to saying, now they say quips and shit because it helps get the company over per se. Mm-hmm. Warner Brothers doesn't need to. Nobody's paying attention to that. You know who pays attention to y'all? People like me and other people who talk about y'all how stupid you look. That's who pays attention to it. Because you're going to keep hollering about some shit, and I'm just going to say it for what it is. You're going to keep hollering about some release a Snyder Cut for years, and guess what? It's never fucking happening. And then you're going to be like, well, if it would have came out, Justice League would have been better. You do realize we're 15, 20 years removed from that fucking Justice League movie. Well, what about the Snyder Cut? Zack Snyder's dead. Why are you still talking about it? Like, that's how we're going to fucking... That's where we're going to go. It's really gotten ridiculous. It's frustrating because there's Zack Snyder is mainly the poking the bear with this. Bruh, DC has moved on from you and your wife, unfortunately.
And doesn't he have another project?
Aren't you supposed to be doing something the fuck else?
I'm pretty sure he's working on something else. So why is he still going back to this?
Again, he has nothing else to put out there for anybody to be caring about. And it's sad. You are a good director, Zack Snyder. No matter how people feel about Watchmen, I enjoyed it. I fucking love 300. You know what I'm saying? So you've done great shit. This was something that didn't happen. Your vision is one thing, and that is done. But the fact that he keeps harping on it, and then you have these other motherfuckers There was a dude who tried to tweet me and argue about some shit, and his name on Twitter was Save Movies Like BVS. And I literally told him, I trust nothing and respect nothing you ever say in life. You could die on Twitter, and I'd be like, well, your name was Save Movies Like BVS. You probably deserved it. Because that is harsh, and I get it, because you looked at me like that was just cruel.
No, I just can't believe you actually put that man's name out. Now people can go look him up.
No, his that's not his @
Oh,
that's
okay.
just the name. You know,
Okay.
That's not his Twitter handle. But save what? The shit's done. We're done. You hot people. These are the same people, and I'm not using this as a Disney versus Warner Brothers or Paramount or Sony. These are the same people that no matter what, they complain when there's remakes of films. They complain why we don't do something new.
It's going to ruin my childhood if you remake this.
Not even just that. It's why can't we move forward with new original ideas? That's what Warner Brothers is doing. Let them move forward. Their next thing they shifted into production heavily. They kicked up gears on both Shazam 2 and Black Adam. Okay, Birds of Prey is going to drop soon. We're going to get footage from that. Joker drops this year. We're about to get stuff. Possibly we may have Batgirl. We don't know yet. They have shit they're going. New Gods is on the way being written right now by Ava DuVernay and Tom King.
Which is going to be dope.
Let this happen.
Yeah.
Let that go forward in the future. Leave the past in the fucking past. It just, and I know it sounds like, of course, Jay gets scrambled brain and goes all over the place, but this shit right here is frustrating. I feel like
This shit right here?
I feel like the cat would. This shit right here, Nick. Yeah, I can say it. You can't. Because if you'd have said it, I'd have been like, well, ladies and gentlemen, you about to hear him get his ass whooped on this show. But I just think we need to let that go. Let that go. Like, it's not happening. It's not happening because there is nothing for it to happen. You can't say, I know this. You don't know. I know people who are
But they said, shut the fuck up.
I know people who work at Warner Brothers who have even told people who work in accounting, people who work in post-production have said there is no cut. There are scenes he's done. And Warner Brothers is not going to waste the time or money to have those scenes put together to try to be released. Because it costs money to release a movie. Ugh.
The sells it the most.
Ugh. It's just frustrating, bro. It's just very fucking frustrating. Like, there are other things that are happening. Like, Warner Brothers TV is about to kill San Diego Comic-Con. Well, they were, until Marvel was like, hey, bitch.
Weird.
Hey, bitch. So, I just wanted to say that. So, I didn't get a chance to catch Krypton this week, man. I've heard it's been picking up steam. Swamp Thing, look. I always tell y'all, go to the YouTube channel again, check out the reviews of myself and Winston A. Marshall. This show does not know what it wants to be. And you can say this show is trying to pick up steam, but the problem is the steam is going to pick out. It's going to get abruptly put the fuck out because guess what happens after 3 more weeks? It's over. That is it. And for anybody who keeps saying, well, Netflix can pick it up, Netflix is not going to pick up a DC Universe original. Somebody said Hulu can pick it up. Hulu is owned by Fox, which is now owned by Disney. That is not going to happen. Swamp Thing is dead in the water. No pun intended.
That looks pretty good. Plus, Netflix is not going to pick up anything that's not Netflix anymore.
Netflix is focused on their own original properties. But the problem with Swamp Thing, like I said, the show does not. We found this out. We heard this from the original stories that had come out about why the brass was changing. The brass at Warner Bros. Was changing things. They wanted a different tone. Well, it shows. This show has 2 different tones. James Wan's idea was horror. I'm fine with that when you're talking Swamp Thing.
Yeah.
When you're talking Louisiana, when you're talking voodoo, magic, and dark shit. Cool. Horror works. Then this shit goes drama, soap opera, and it doesn't gradually go into one or the other. It just goes into it. That is not how a TV show works. So, if you want to see Winston and I's thoughts on it, go to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Mr. J. Washington. Like I said, I haven't seen Krypton. I can't wait to see what Pennyworth
Isn't it Jay Washington 08?
Jay Wash, yes, I'm sorry. Not even 08, 80.
80.
Thank you. Look, I tried to make everything uniform with Mr. Jerry.
We tired, man. It's a long weekend.
I tried to make everything uniform, and I just couldn't. Fuck. Yeah, so that's all I got right now in news. And I'm going to go right now to my Mad Titan hotline, where you can, of course, bring your calls, questions, comments, concerns to me. You can hit me up, 818-276-6947, 818-616-2947. I will take your calls if I can hear them legibly, and we will answer them on the show. Also, you can email me at madtitanpodcast@gmail.com. Also, when you email me things pertaining to the Marvel and DC live-action cinematic universes. Nothing else.
What have you been sending?
Nothing else. I don't want to discuss it on here. I'll tell you off air. Nothing else. It just has nothing to do with it. So let's go to our first call right now.
Hey, Jay, this is Hank from Lexington, Kentucky. I have two questions. Do you think they'll set the cosmic phase up for an ultimate battle with Galactus? And when will we see Moon Knight, do you think? Thanks, brother.
All right, thank you for your call, Hank. First of all, do we think that Marvel is setting up for an ultimate battle in the cosmic phase with Galactus? And let's answer that one first. Do you think that they're setting up for Galactus?
I mean, they could, given also what we talked about earlier with Sword, and we're going much more cosmic. But honestly, I kind of want to see them calm it down a little bit, get back down to a ground level villain. Give us a Doctor Doom, something along that level. Galactus
well, he said an ultimate battle, so
yeah,
like the culmination.
But I would like to see Doctor Doom be that through line thread that gets to a couple Avengers going down.
There's somebody bigger than Doom we got to worry about, and bigger than Thanos is what you're saying? Something like
that?
And
I think Doom should be that next big bad that is puppet mastering everything like Thanos
I agree.
is doing.
I agree. I agree with that. Yeah.
My problem with Galactus being the guy is I know he's different, but we kind of just saw him with Thanos. It's kind of the same.
The same thing. They're the same. I would rather see Kang the Conqueror.
Yeah.
It's something about seeing Kang. I don't know, but I don't.
I would like to see something where they're using Doom and maybe even Magneto working together.
Can we? I'm gonna say this.
I know we gotta stop with Magneto, but
because everybody is quick, and it's no disrespect at all. Let me preface that. People keep throwing the mutants in so fast.
Mm-hmm.
Stop trying to throw them in this. Let them come and let them see what happens. Don't just throw them in the middle of some shit, because then people are gonna be pissed.
Yeah.
If you just throw them in something and it doesn't add up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You throw Magneto. Hey, Magneto and Doom working together. You're like, wait, what? Why?
Again,
no, I'm just saying.
But I get it. But yeah, I don't want to see this big. I know we're gonna go cosmic, and we gotta open up that world and show all those different things. We got the Eternals, Guardians, Captain Marvel, all that stuff coming, and that makes a lot of sense. But I also want to. Sometimes you gotta bring it back down to a lower level and see what we can do with ground troops.
Well, see, my thing with Doom is, do we take Doom? And I'm gonna go back to the question, Hank. Please don't worry about that. When we take Doom, is Doom just a one-off for Fantastic Four?
See, that's what I don't want. I don't even want him in the Fantastic Four movie. Get the Fantastic Four to face somebody else.
Well, remember, Noah Hawley has been writing a Doctor Doom script.
Exactly.
So that becomes the interesting point for me. Do you use Doom to introduce the Four, or do you use the Four to introduce Doom?
See, I think you somehow introduce Doom in whatever our next Avengers movie is.
I don't think
he's not the villain, but he has something to do with something.
Well, I think that here's what I can go off that. I'll piggyback off that. Doom is a genius, which first and foremost we need to have.
Yes.
He is a technological genius whose power comes from both technology and science and magic. Mm-hmm. We need to have that Victor Von Doom who is studying magic but also deals with technology and has become all powerful. He also is trying to find out how to get through space and time, i.e. the negative zone or the quantum realm, whichever one.
Mm-hmm.
In the process of doing that, he unleashes the Four. They've been trapped there since the 60s. Ta-da! Next movie. Now, go ahead. I'm sorry.
And then, and something as simple as remember in Iron Man 2 You see Wakanda on the map in the background. Avengers: Age of Ultron, when they mention Wakanda, they got to go to get the thing. Something like that. You just sprinkle in Latveria here and there.
Oh, and that's what'll happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, Latveria will become a sprinkled in conversation piece. It'll just be small, just like Wakanda. Boom. We know what this is. We know we're opening this up. Vibranium. Boom. Done.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we'll have with Latveria. Cool. But as far as Galactus, my issue becomes you need a world. The big culmination will possibly be Secret Wars, like I said earlier. I don't know if I want it to just be this world-ending thing with just one person. A war wouldn't just be Galactus. But also at the same time, I don't want Galactus killed off 1-2 movies.
Yeah.
Galactus deserves more. Like, Galactus deserves to be able to find a way to open up the dark dimension and bring out Dormammu.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Things like that need to happen.
And like this was the Infinity Saga.
Yes,
right?
That's it.
Give us some other saga. And then maybe the Galactic. Because then you go back to that, Thanos type, that galactic empire. I don't know. And I'm just spitballing there. But.
And then to your second question, Hank, do we think we will ever see Moon Knight?
I think we could have. I thought we had a really good chance until this whole the merger, and then we got Hulu, and now Netflix is doing what Netflix does. I thought we were maybe gonna see a Moon Knight there on Netflix, and perhaps we're gonna see it on Hulu now at some point, depending on how these new ones do that they have. Their Ghost Rider, their Howard the Duck. There's a couple other ones that are coming. I don't know if we see Moon Knight on Disney Plus. I don't think
Hellstorm.
Yeah, I don't think Moon Knight's a Disney Plus type of one.
Moon Knight will never go Disney Plus.
But I think there's a possibility. Plus, I've recently heard rumors that they want to reintroduce Daredevil, Charlie Cox.
Oh, they want to do him
with Spider-Man 3.
Okay.
It was a small little thing that was just an idea.
My brain had to catch on to this.
Yeah.
Because when you said Spider-Man 3, I was like, you mean with Topher Grace's Venom? And then my fucking brain went, it's been a long weekend.
So does that reintroduce those Netflix characters, those Defenders somewhere else where you could throw a Moon Knight back in there?
Well,
I don't know.
It's just, Charlie Cox is the main one they're going to bring, if anybody. Kristen Ritter's I said in the last episode, Kristen Ritter's done with Jessica Jones. Mike Coulter has other projects. Nobody wants Finn Jones. And
I love the second season of Iron Fist. The first one.
You know why? You know why you loved it?
Because the first one was trash.
And I said that myself. That's why I liked it so much better. Because the bar was so fucking low.
Yeah.
The bar was so fucking low. But I think the question becomes with Moon Knight, are we going to get the series of movie? I think we are going to get Moon Knight. It's what are we getting from Moon Knight? Are we getting a Moon Knight series? Are we getting a Moon Knight movie? That's going to be the biggest thing.
What do you think it lends itself to better?
A series?
I think so too.
I think it's because the story of what he is, he's basically fucking psychotic.
Yeah.
He's psychotic with mystical powers. That is a series. People, it's one of those you have to sit down and imbibe. But the question then becomes, you gotta have, who becomes that team to give you this story in the right way? Because it's already been referenced. A news reporter in Cairo, Egypt.
Yeah.
It's already been referenced since fucking Winter Soldier. So it was like, drop, possible, here. I don't know. So thank you, Hank, for your call, man. So it's a possibility we may see that. Galactus, who honestly knows? I'm sorry. Let me go to some of the emails I have. So this is from D. Ashley 2003 says, how are they going to make a Sinister Six movie with Tom Holland Spider-Man if the MCU has a recurring villain problem? I'll easily answer that. They've set up the villains for this perfectly. The only person that's dead for their six is Mysterio. You still have Vulture living, unless he just faked his death.
No. He could be dead. But was Mysterio really the Mysterio? Or was that team behind Mysterio the Mysterio?
His Spidey sense worked.
But those guys can bring him back and make him... Anybody can now be Mysterio. They can we need another actor.
So it doesn't have to be Quentin Beck at the helm. Okay, well, and also, that's fair, because you still do have your...
And how much does that mess with Spider-Man's head? That I saw you die. How are you still here?
That's fair. So, yeah. Okay. And I don't know why. We used to say the MCU had a recurring villain problem, but I don't think we really do. I think because we were just looking at the movies individually and didn't see what they all were leading up to.
Yeah.
Because, like, Loki was a constant.
Yeah.
Loki's been a constant. The Thanos story was a constant. There's some villains that don't have to apply. Now, there's word that Michael B. Jordan may not be showing up in Black Panther 2, which I was like, he can, as in the ancestral plane, because he was a Black Panther and the king of Wakanaka. As a black person, I feel like I lose all points. I lose all points for saying
I would love, the only way I want, because I loved his story so much, I only want him in the answer. Don't bring him back to life.
Also, but you got to remember, we don't know officially if he died.
True.
Because remember, he said I could save him. He's like, I can save you. And granted, Killmonger said, don't save me. That doesn't mean that as soon as he laid there for a second, hurry up, shoot it. Take the thing out of his chest and bring it back to life with the Wakanda juice. The Wakanda juice. Like, but my king, brother, we don't have any more purple hot tubs. Listen, there is one in my bed, but there's also something green by it. Do not pay attention to the green stuff.
Jay, we off the rails, bro. Off the rails.
This is what happens. So, I think, going back to that, Joseph, I do think that I don't think there's a problem. I think the biggest issue is it's Tom Holland's last movie.
I think he'll resign.
The question isn't if he'll resign. It's what Sony does. The Spider-Man is only lent.
My money, and again,
Spider-Man is only lent for 6 movies. We've had him for 5.
And we didn't talk about this. The other thing I think that will happen at Comic-Con, I think we'll get something about we've reworked the deal with Sony. Spidey ain't going, because the way Homecoming is set,
it sets the 6 up.
Yeah, not even that. He is our Iron Man.
Yeah, I get that, and I'm with you on that. But also, they are so held strong, and when I say they, I mean Amy Pascal and them at Sony, on putting Tom Holland.
But she gone.
She got they've been wanting to make that happen. So
yeah.
Still, even if Pascal is gone, they want to put the Toms together.
Yeah.
Somehow, some way, and I just because I don't like Venom. I don't. Look, hopefully we'll get that, okay? So thank you to everybody, man. Again, you can sit there and leave your calls. 818-276-6947. 818-276-6947. Fuck. 818-276-6947. I'm so motherfucking tired. Email madtitanpodcast@gmail.com. madtitanpodcast@gmail.com. That is all I got for the week, BC. Thank you for being here and breaking into my home and me not calling the police on you. Because I was finna. There's a white man in my home! Sir, he has the right to be there. The fuck do you mean? Sir, he's white. Okay?
I can do it all because I'm a white guy.
Sir, he manifests destiny at your home. What? Hey man, tell the people how they can reach you.
Yo, you can find me on all social media at RealJackassBC, RealJackassBC. My YouTube channel, youtube.com/JackassNation. My podcast, It Is What It Is with a Jackass, every single Thursday on Cinelinks.com. Jay and I will be killing it out in San Diego for San Diego Comic-Con in about a week and a half. So y'all get prepared for that. We're going to have a lot of stuff for y'all. So.
Oh, I'm also trying to get Comic-Con sexy. So for all the ladies that'll be there, like, I know, like, yo, I'm supposed to be living my best life at Comic-Con. I want to be like, oh my God, look at the Black Man Titan. He's so cutty, he's so slimmer now, and he all muscular and thick. I wonder if he thick everywhere. And like, yes, he is. Come see my Infinity Gauntlet. That is just...
man, that's awkward. What's on my phone? That's awkward.
I'm so tired. Oh shit! Find me on Twitter and Instagram as always, Mr. J Washington, MrJaywashington. The YouTube channel, like I told y'all several times throughout the show, and I bring it back, youtube.com/JAYWashington80. I got a lot of stuff up there, a lot of reviews. My Mulan trailer reaction with BC will be up on their way by the time you guys hear this. Check out the Patreon. Join the Supervillain Squad. Patreon.com/Mr. J Washington. Patreon.com/Mr. J Washington. And speaking of the Supervillain Squad on Patreon, man, I want to give a lot of love to the members of the squad, straight up. Shout out to my newest member, AZ Badfish, and also Adelia Chamberlain, Keaton J. Brown, Brandon Buckingham, California Joe, David Adams, DJ Snacks, Greg Morshi, John Mariano, LK, Marcus Burton, Mikey Lito, Paisley, Darts, Rui Rueda, Steve Tozen. Thank you to all you guys for being a member, as well as Jillian Marie. I'm sorry about that. Jillian Marie also. Remember I told y'all I was doing the contest. Shouts out to John Mariano. You are the winner of that, my friend. Get your Black Villains Matter t-shirt, Black Villains Matter at BigCartel.com. Get your Mad Titan Podcast t-shirt, tpublic.com/users/Mr. J Washington, all right? That is about it. Also, if you are a member of the Patreon, I'm going to slap myself in the face because I was
Words, we know them.
Words. If you remember the Patreon, you'll be able to see my wrestling matches. These videos are light enough, and I can edit this shit up for y'all to have it all day, all right? I will holler at you guys next week. Till then, take care. Thank you, BC. Get the fuck